why are we here? So the Phoenix Park is one of the largest city parks in all of Europe. It's about 1,763 acres, and that's about 24 hectares. Brilliant. Why is that so important? Well, this park was built back in the 1600s for a king. His name was King Charles II, and his ears, some little dogs, spaniels, had ears kind of like him, so they called the dogs King Charles Spaniels. Great. But this site has a very, very long history. Firstly, this site was used over 5,000 years ago for the Neolithic people. Then it was used continuously, more or less, until Bronze Age times. And from about 4,000 years ago, ashes, jewellery, wristbands and so forth were found in this location. This location is really important because later then it became a location for various tribes to feed their cattle, because as you can see, the grass is pretty rich, even though it hasn't rained in a few days. And then, when the Vikings came to Ireland, mostly they came from Norway in the beginning and then later Denmark. So just behind where the trees are, that was called Island Bridge, and that's where the largest Viking burial site was located. So still the same plot, 3 or 4 separate uses so far. Then in the 1100s, the Normans came along, and all of this land was donated, fought for and received by a man who became Baron of Castleknock. That was great. He got all of this really good land. But then, just behind the trees, there's a big crane in the way actually, so it wouldn't look good. Strongbow was the man who led the Norman conquest. He wanted to start the Knights of St. John Hospitaller. So similar to a monastery, a priory. And he started it in 1174. And the Baron gave all of this land, more or less, as far as you can see. You might be able to see the cranes, as far as those cranes. Okay, so that was 1174, and it operated for around 350 years. Fabulous. And what happened then? Another king came along, Henry VIII, and he decided to dissolve all of the monasteries. And what happened to this land? Well, lots of people got lots of little parts of it. And it was only then, in the 1660s, that the land was brought together to form a very large park. This park was lovely, deer was brought over, and the park extended right over to where we can more or less see those buildings now. It was about 2,000 acres. But then the building which had been the monastery, Priory, that got redeveloped into a hospital for soldiers. So this park, the Phoenix Park, became a little smaller. Right, that's brilliant. So why are we standing here outside this rather decrepit building? Well, this building is called the Magazine Fort. And you might be able to see sort of a fortified structure there. So back in the olden days, as in up to the 15 or even 1600s, we didn't have a lot of gunpowder. But then we did get gunpowder in the early 1600s, and all of the gunpowder was kept in Dublin Castle. That was great until there was a little fire in the 1680s, and poof, we blew up all of Dublin Castle by accident. accident. So what did we do? Well, we decided about 30 years later, in the early 1700s, to build this site, which you're not allowed to go into anymore. And this was the magazine fort, so it wasn't for Vogue or Elle, it was for our explosives. Now, I don't want to make the camera too wobbly, but there was quite a witty ditty which Jonathan Swift had mentioned about this spot. Just bear with me a second, I think I have it written down here. He says, "Now here's the proof of Irish sense, here Irish wit is seen. When nothing is left that's worth defence, we build a magazine." So that's our little tour today. If I walk around, everything just gets too big. But if you have any questions, direct message me, and I hope you enjoy your afternoon. Thank you very much. Bye.